The Cardinals hammered their opponent on homecoming as they shut out the Illinois Wesleyan Titans en route to a 52-0 win. Now their focus shifts to securing a share of their 7th straight CCIW title with a win over Wheaton College on Saturday. We take a look at the shutout and how the team hopes to keep the Little Brass Bell in Naperville right now on the Red Zone. Welcome to the Red Zone. I'm Mark Dahlquist. With me to start things off is head coach for the Cardinals, John Thorne. Coach, thanks so much for checking in.
It's great to be here, Mark. Good day.
It was a good day on Saturday for you guys as well, as you guys take down the Illinois Wesleyan Titans with a score of 52-0.
That was a big surprise. You know, we expected a much tighter game, a lot more physical and so forth, but our guys were very, very excited, and the offense and defense really executed the best they've done, I think, all season. So it was a fun game to watch. And
it had to have been exciting for that defense as they finally get that goose egg on the board they've been waiting for all year. And funny thing was, the only shutout you guys had in conference last year was against Illinois Wesleyan.
Right. So that's 2 years in a row, which, you know, that's good football because they have a very good program. They're very well coached and they do a lot of good things. So our guys have really come to play both those years. And, of course, Joey Michael gets the pick six both years.
It's a little bit of a deja vu for us, you know, covering the game, seeing him run with that ball in the other direction.
I know. It looked almost exactly like it.
Well, the Cardinals posted their first shutout of the year while racking up their second highest point total of the season. Let's go to the highlight. Homecoming crowd getting settled in at Benedetti Worley Stadium as Nick Slezak and Josh Mitchell are hoping to shut out Alex Garvey and the Illinois Wesleyan offense. But it's the Cardinal offense that comes out fired up as Nick Kukoc takes the handoff on the second play from scrimmage, and he goes 60 yards for the score and a 7-0 North Central lead. Next drive for NCC, and Spencer Stanek goes to the air and hits Chad O'Kane, who spins and jukes his way to the Titan 30-yard line. Then 2 plays later, Stanek fires to A.J. Thomas over the middle, who is brought down just short of the goal line. But that's where Jordan Tassio is at his best, and his 1-yard run gives the Cardinals a 14-point advantage. Still in the first quarter, Nick Kukoc scampers 17 yards around the right end to put the Cardinals back in the red zone. Kukoc would finish what he started as he takes the option pitch and makes the score 21-0 heading into the second quarter. Cardinals not letting up in the second as Stanek throws a beauty to Heliano Fuentes, and he finds the pylon for the Cardinals' 4th touchdown of the game. Still in the second quarter, Stanek surveys the field but decides to use his legs as he rushes for a Cardinal first down. Then he sticks to the more traditional method as he hits Peter Sorensen on the slant, and North Central is rolling up 35-0. The defense wouldn't give the Titans an inch in the second half, let alone a point, as Connor Douglas picks off the pass by Tyler Hook to ruin a scoring chance. And since the offense was having so much fun scoring, the defense wants to give it a try, as Joey Michaels returns the pick 39 yards for the score, and the Cardinals run away with the win on homecoming, taking down Illinois Wesleyan 52-0. So, Coach, obviously the defense was firing all cylinders, but you had to be proud of that offense, too, with a 52-point outburst.
That was a great day. Every offensive lineman graded out at 80% or higher. So lots of good things were happening with the line, and it showed. You know, I mean, right away they just opened a huge hole. Nick hit the hole and went 60-some yards, second play of the game for a touchdown. Jordan, on the first play of the game, came this close to breaking it all the way. I mean, the last guy grabbed him. So that was 2 great offensive plays back-to-back. But then you're always worried, you know, early ripe, early rotten, something could go wrong. We're fired up for this, but now we're going to settle back down. But the guys just they kept executing the whole game. I mean, it was fun to watch.
Well, it seems like you guys really kept the pressure on the Titans. I mean, Nick Kukoc racked up 131 yards on the ground. You guys were really able to control the clock and keep the ball in your hands, and you guys really seemed to dictate the flow of that game.
In a lot of ways, yes. I mean, Nick only had 13 carries, so that's better than 10 yards a carry with what he was doing. But then we got in the fourth quarter, and we had all of our number twos in there. And here's the little freshman, O'Shane Brown. He gets 10 yards per carry also, and they still had their starting defense out there. So it was just everybody seemed to get into the enthusiasm, and everybody wanted to show the crowd, hey, I'm ready to be a Cardinal football player. I'm ready to show you how to play football. And it was a very pretty thing to look at.
Hey, you mentioned Brown busting out 60 yards in only a quarter of play. But we talk about this every week, how important it is to get those number twos in, because it seems like Wesleyan, even if they were a little banged up, their backups really weren't ready to rise to the occasion.
Well, it looked like a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've done well against some other teams, but it just all their rhythm seemed to be gone, you know, and it got really hard for them, and the longer the game went on, the more difficult it seemed for them to make plays on both offense and defense.
And this is one of those games you guys had circled on the calendar. What was the mentality of this team, you know, knowing that Wesleyan was one of those teams that they really wanted to get the win over?
Well, the last few years, it's really been Wesleyan, Wheaton, and us that are battling for the title. And so now we get to play them back-to-back, which will be really exciting. So it was good to get that game finished the way it happened. But now we are so well past that and just focused on Wheaton, and make sure we keep the bell in Naperville.
That's true. And the Titans had a backup quarterback in, Tyler Hook. What were you guys trying to do to keep pressure on him or confuse him throughout the day, because he hadn't seen a lot of action coming into this game?
Well, he had played all their JV games, and so he had done a lot of throwing there, but the speed of the game is so different, you know, on Saturdays compared to the JV games, and I think that's what gave him the most problem. He's a wonderful-looking athlete. He's got a nice, you know, he throws the ball very well, but it was hard with that much pressure coming to make your reads fast enough and then also deliver the ball where you wanted it to go. And so he had an awful lot of incomplete passes, plus we sacked him, I think, 5 times. And so he was really feeling the pressure. You know, the other guys, the older guys, needed to be able to step up a little bit more to take some of that pressure off of him. And it just didn't quite happen for him.
Yeah, the Cardinal D was definitely keeping the pressure on all day. Don't go anywhere, because we continue to break down the Cardinals with Coach Thorne right after this.
Yes, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Welcome back to the Red Zone. With us still is head coach John Thorne. Coach, so you mentioned it a little bit, Wheaton game coming up. You guys want to keep that little brass bell in Naperville. And right after that game ended, you guys started chanting, beat Wheaton, beat Wheaton. It seems like that really is the motto for this week.
That's the game every year, you know. And so we do need to be ready to play great football. They're going to play a fabulous game. They've got a wonderful offense where they've got 2 very good quarterbacks. They've got a whole group of receivers that have got some great numbers. Their running game is better than it was a year ago. And then on their defensive side, they're right close to our defense. They're either ahead of us in a category or right behind us. You know, we're kind of 1 and 2 in almost every category in the conference right now. So this is a really good battle, and our guys, I think, will be very fired up for it. I know I will be. And So we're excited that it's finally here. We'd like to play them a bunch of times every year because it's always such a great atmosphere.
It seems like the atmosphere, everybody really gets pumped for it, and there was obviously a big atmosphere surrounding the game this past weekend with the homecoming festivities. Did you feel the energy in the locker room with the guys getting up a little bit more because there was a larger crowd, a lot of alumni in attendance? Well,
you could feel it all week. You could tell the whole week this is different. You know, we played these other games, but the guys want to play this game and they want to show what they can do. Mm-hmm. And having it be homecoming and Hall of Fame people there and everything, a new president being announced, right. All those things kind of all just kept building and building and building. And it was Hal's last homecoming as the president, you know, and he loves football, so we just, it would have been horrible if we would have laid an egg and not played good football. And I think the coaches and the players all knew that, and so guys were ready. And it was what we've been waiting to see, and hopefully that's what we're going to continue to see for a few more weeks.
Well, you guys definitely sent President Hal Wilde out in style.
He was happy.
The football game wasn't the only thing making campus buzz this past weekend, and we take a look at the other homecoming events in this week's Cardinal Corner. The Cardinal fans and alumni were out in full force on Saturday to cheer the team to a convincing homecoming win over the Titans.
It's just nice to come back to the college and see a football game. I bring my couple of boys who are showing some interest in North Central College, and being here, it's almost like the NFL to them to be down here on the field and watching the football so closely.
But the football game wasn't the only event bringing past Cardinals to Naperville over the weekend. Alumni players were able to hit the gridiron and relive their glory days with a friendly game of flag football. Current students marched to Championship Plaza in the annual homecoming parade, and everyone came together to dedicate the new Riverwalk Gateway with a little help from Mayor Pradle.
May 17th, we were here talking about it, and then all of a sudden the funding came in, and North Central wasted no time. Here it is and finished.
The North Central College Athletics Hall of Fame also inducted 6 new members just hours before kickoff. But the whole weekend was topped off with an all-class dance in the Res Rec Center Saturday night that acted as one last farewell to President Hal Wilde.
Everybody knows Hal, I mean, on a first-name basis. That's just unbelievable that you would know your president, first-name basis, you know his wife, you know their story, you know, you can talk to him, give him a high five on the way to class. It's pretty cool.
The college officially announced this weekend that Dr. Troy D. Hammond will succeed Hal Wilde as the college's 10th president. And the football team is hoping to make his last season as president one to remember. So, Coach, obviously a big homecoming win, but you guys don't dwell on those wins. You finally look on to the next team. What do you think is going to make it difficult game planning for the Thunder? The fact that they have 2 quarterbacks that are very capable to go in and not only complete passes, but run the ball too.
Well, one of them is a much better runner, and so we have to have a slightly different game plan for him. The other one is getting more reps as the starter, and he's had a fabulous year throwing the football. Their receivers, they don't have one, they've got 2 of these gigantic towers that are very tall, so we've had to work with the defensive backs on, they're going to catch it, but when you catch it, you still have to bring it down, right. And that's when we have to play defense. We've focused all year since day one on how to get the concept of stopping the forward pass. And so this is going to be a really great test to see if we've learned our lessons well enough to play against really good offensive passing teams.
Are you guys going to maybe match up a little differently on defense, since you guys do have some taller defensive backs, and Nick Slezak, Josh Mitchell? Are they going to be keying in on certain wide receivers for the Thunder?
We're going to hopefully create some tougher situations for them, you know, but it won't be that hard for them to get one of their tall receivers someplace where we're going to be defending them with a shorter player, you know.
Well, it's a good thing the shorter players still pack a lot of punch on your team, Coach. Best of luck this weekend against the Thunder.
Thanks.
Keep it right here, because after the break, we'll sit down with 2 Cardinals that hope to help the team take down the Thunder. We'll be right back.